I wake up every day at 5:42 a.m. Not because I need to, not because I want to, but because my body does it on its own now. The alarm is set for 6, but it almost never rings. I open my eyes before it, stare at the ceiling for a few seconds, and wait for the quiet to feel normal again. The ceiling fan makes a soft clicking sound. It's been doing that for years. I once thought about fixing it, but the sound stayed, and so did I. I live alone in a small apartment on the 3rd floor of an old building. The paint near the windows is peeling. The stairs creak when someone walks up or down, though most days no one does. There is nothing wrong with the place. There is also nothing special about it. I sit up slowly, letting my feet touch the cold floor. For a moment, I just sit there. No thoughts, no plans, just breathing. This part of the morning is always the same. I wash my face with water that is neither warm nor cold. I brush my teeth while looking at my reflection, though I don't really see myself. I've seen this face too many times. It doesn't ask me any questions anymore. I make tea, not coffee. I stopped drinking coffee a long time ago. Tea feels quieter. I drink it standing near the window. From here, I can see the road below. A few buses pass. A man opens his small shop. A stray dog sleeps near the corner, exactly where it slept yesterday. Sometimes I wonder how many mornings I've watched this same scene. I don't count anymore. By 6:30, I'm dressed. Simple clothes, nothing that stands out. I lock the door behind me and walk down the stairs, careful not to rush. Outside, the air is slightly heavy. The city is waking up, but slowly, like it's tired too. I walk to the bus stop. It's a 10-minute walk, but I like to take 15. There's no reason to hurry. No one is waiting for me. At the stop, the same people stand in roughly the same places. A woman with a large bag, 2 college students talking quietly, an older man who never looks up from his phone. We don't greet each other. We don't need to. The bus arrives with a long sigh of air and metal. I get on, pay the fare, and find my usual seat by the window. The glass is slightly scratched, making everything outside look softer, less sharp. I work at a small office. It's not important what we do there. I've learned that most jobs sound more meaningful when explained than when lived. My desk is near the back. I turn on the computer, arrange my papers, and sit. "Morning," someone says, passing by. "Morning," I reply. That's usually the longest conversation I have before noon. The hours move slowly, but not painfully. I answer emails, I enter data, I wait. Sometimes I look at the clock and feel surprised that only 5 minutes have passed. At lunch, I eat what I brought from home. Rice, vegetables, something simple. I sit alone, not because anyone told me to, but because it feels easier. I listen to the room, plates clinking, quiet laughter, someone complaining about traffic. I don't join in. I wouldn't know where to start. When the workday ends, I shut down my computer carefully, like it might feel something. I say goodbye to a few people. They say goodbye back. Outside again, the evening light looks tired. The bus ride home feels longer. People are louder now, more awake than I am. When I reach my building, I walk up the stairs slowly. 3rd floor. Same door, same lock. Inside, the room smells faintly of dust and old books. I drop my bag on the chair and sit on the bed without turning on the lights. This is the part of the day that feels the heaviest. Not because something bad happens, but because nothing does. I cook dinner, I eat. I wash the dishes immediately because leaving them feels wrong. Sometimes I turn on the TV, but I don't really watch. The sound fills the room so I don't have to. On some nights, I sit by the window again. The road looks different now. Lights instead of sunlight, more noise, more movement. People are going somewhere. I am not. I think about the past more than the future. The future feels too large, too empty. The past feels smaller, easier to hold. I remember when my life didn't feel like this. Not happier, just louder. There was a time when I used to come home and tell someone about my day. Small things, nothing important, but someone listened. I don't remember exactly when that stopped. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't a dramatic goodbye. It was just less talking, then silence. People say loneliness arrives suddenly. I don't think that's true. I think it arrives quietly while you're busy doing other things. By the time you notice it, it's already living with you. At night, I lie in bed and stare at the ceiling again. The fan clicks. The room stays still. I think about calling someone. Anyone. I don't. Not because there's no one, but because I wouldn't know what to say. Eventually, sleep comes. Not gently, just suddenly, like turning off a light. Tomorrow will be the same. And that, somehow, is what scares me the most. On Wednesdays, I take a different bus home. Not because it's faster. Not because it's better. It passes one familiar street. That's all. I don't look for anything there anymore. I just sit by the window and let the bus slow down as it turns the corner. For a few seconds, the old building comes into view. The bakery on the ground floor is still there. The sign has faded, but the smell of bread still escapes through the door in the evenings. I used to stop there once a week. I don't anymore. The bus moves on and the street disappears behind another row of buildings. I don't feel anything strong about it. Not sadness, not happiness, just a dull awareness. At home, I notice small things more than I used to. A crack in the wall that seems longer than before, a chair that makes a sound when I sit down, like it's reminding me it exists. I think this happens when you spend too much time alone. You begin to notice objects. They don't interrupt you. They don't expect anything. Some nights, I open old drawers, not to search for something specific, just to look. There are papers I no longer understand, old receipts, a watch that stopped working years ago. I keep meaning to throw these things away, but I never do. At the bottom of one drawer, there is a small notebook. I don't open it often. Inside, the handwriting is mine, but younger. The letters lean forward slightly, like they were in a hurry. Most of the pages are empty. Only the first few have words. Simple things. Buy milk. Call after work. Don't forget. I don't remember what I wasn't supposed to forget. I close the notebook and put it back carefully, as if it might break. Sleep has become lighter over the years. I wake up more often now, usually without reason. When I do, the room feels unfamiliar for a few seconds, like I'm visiting someone else's life. Sometimes I hear a voice, not calling my name, just existing. But when I sit up, there's only the fan and the quiet. At work, a new person joins our team. Her desk is across from mine. She smiles politely on the first day. "Nice to meet you," she says. "Nice to meet you," I reply. That's it. Over the next few weeks, she talks to everyone easily, laughs, asks questions, complains about the printer. small things. She doesn't talk to me much, but sometimes our eyes meet across the room. When they do, she smiles. I nod. Once, during lunch, she sits near me. "This place is quieter than I expected," she says. "It usually is," I reply. She waits, like she's expecting more. I don't give it to her. After a moment, she nods and turns back to her phone. I don't feel proud of that. I don't feel regret either. I've learned that conversations can open doors, and I'm not sure I want to see what's behind them anymore. On my way home one evening, it starts raining. Not heavily, just enough to make the streetlights blur. I don't open my umbrella. I walk slowly, letting the rain darken my shirt. It feels honest somehow. At the building entrance, I stop for a moment. I could stay outside longer. No one would notice. But I go in. Inside, I sit on the bed without changing my clothes. Water drips onto the floor. I watch it form small, temporary shapes. I think about the last time someone waited for me to come home. It wasn't dramatic. There was no clock watching, no worry. Just presence. I remember a voice asking, "How was your day?" I remember answering, "Fine." I wonder how many times I said that when it wasn't true. The days continue, one after another, without marking themselves. I stop noticing the date. The weeks blur together. One Friday, my phone vibrates while I'm eating dinner. I don't recognize the number. I let it stop. A minute later, it vibrates again. I answer this time. "Hello?" There's a pause. "Is this you?" The voice is careful, familiar in a way that makes my chest feel tight. "Yes," I say. Another pause. "It's been a long time." "Yes," I say again. We don't say names. We don't need to. "How are you?" the voice asks. I look around the room, the chair, the table, the light above me. "I'm okay," I say. It's not a lie, it's just incomplete. "I was just going through some old things," the voice says. "I found your number." "I see." More silence. "I didn't know if I should call." "You did," I say. "Yes." I wait for something else, an apology, a memory, an explanation. None of it comes. "Well," the voice says, eventually, "I just wanted to hear you." "You've heard me," I reply. "Yes." We stay on the line for a few more seconds, neither of us moving forward. "Take care," the voice says. "You too," I answer. The call ends. I put the phone down and continue eating. The food has gone cold, but I don't mind. That night, sleep doesn't come easily. I stare at the ceiling longer than usual. The fan clicks. The sound feels louder now. I replay the call in my head, searching for something I missed, some hidden meaning. There isn't one. The next morning, everything is the same. The bus, the office, the quiet greetings. But something has shifted slightly, like a chair moved an inch in a familiar room. I start thinking about the things I never said. Not the big things, the small ones. I miss you. I'm tired. I don't know how to fix this. I wonder if saying them now would change anything. Probably not. Time has a way of closing doors gently, without noise. You don't hear them shut, you just notice one day that you can't open them anymore. On Sunday, I walk past the bakery again. This time, I stop. I stand outside for a moment, then go in. The smell is the same, warm, familiar. I buy a small loaf of bread. The woman behind the counter hands it to me without looking up. She's busy. Her life is moving. Outside, I take a bite. It tastes fine. Just bread. I don't feel anything special, but for a brief moment, standing there with the street around me, I feel like I used to belong somewhere. The feeling passes quickly. I walk home. That night, I place the notebook on the table instead of the drawer. I open it to a blank page. I hold the pen for a long time. I don't write anything. Eventually, I close the notebook and turn off the light. Some things, once left unsaid, stay that way. I start forgetting small things. Not important things. Nothing that would worry anyone else. I forget where I put my keys, even though I always put them in the same place. I forget whether I locked the door, even when I remember turning the key. Once I stand in the kitchen holding a cup, unsure if I already drank the tea or not. These moments pass quickly, but they leave something behind, a quiet discomfort, like a shadow you notice only when you turn your head. My routine doesn't change. I still wake up before the alarm. I still take the same bus most days, but my body feels heavier, as if it's carrying something I didn't agree to hold. At work, I make more mistakes. Nothing serious. A wrong number, an email sent twice. My supervisor mentions it once, gently. "Everything okay?" he asks. "Yes," I say. He nods. That's the end of it. I appreciate that he doesn't ask more. During lunch, I sometimes forget to eat. Not intentionally, I just don't feel hungry. When I notice the time, it's already late afternoon. At home, the nights stretch longer. I lie in bed earlier, but sleep comes later. My thoughts don't race. They drift, slow and heavy, like clouds that don't know where they're going. I start leaving the TV off. Silence feels more honest now. One evening, I notice that my chest feels tight when I walk up the stairs. Not pain, just pressure. I stop on the second floor and wait for it to pass. It does. I tell myself it's nothing. I've reached the age where nothing starts happening more often. On Sundays, I begin taking longer walks, not to exercise, just to move. I walk through streets I don't know well, letting them decide where I go. I pass houses with open windows. I hear conversations I'm not part of. Laughter, arguments, a child crying. All of it sounds distant, like it belongs to another world. Once I sit on a bench in a small park. The paint is chipped. The bench is slightly wet. I sit anyway. An old man sits at the other end after a while. He doesn't look at me. He feeds small pieces of bread to the birds. "They're always hungry," he says. Not really to me.
"Yes," I reply. We sit in silence after that. It's comfortable in a way I didn't expect. When he leaves, he nods once. I nod back. We don't exchange names. I don't tell anyone about the chest pressure, not because I'm afraid, because it feels unnecessary. I still go to work. I still return home. Life continues, even when no one is watching. One night, while brushing my teeth, I noticed that my hair has thinned more than I remembered. I lean closer to the mirror. For a moment, I don't recognize the person looking back. He looks tired. Not from work, from time. I rinse my mouth and turn away. In the drawer, the notebook stays where I left it, on the table, closed. I don't move it. Some mornings, I wake up with a sense of loss, even before I remember anything. Like I misplaced something important while sleeping. The feeling fades by breakfast. At work, the woman from the other desk asks if I want to join a group lunch. "We're going to that new place down the street," she says. I hesitate, just a second too long. "That's okay," she adds quickly. "Maybe another time." "Maybe," I say. She smiles politely and walks away. I watch her go, aware that I've just closed another door without meaning to. I don't feel relief. I don't feel regret. Just a dull acceptance. The chest pressure returns more often now, especially at night. I sit on the edge of the bed and breathe slowly, counting the seconds. It always passes. I tell myself that if it were serious, it wouldn't come and go like this. I've learned how convincing I can be. One Friday evening, I miss my stop on the bus. I don't realize until the bus has already moved on. I get off at the next stop and walk back. It takes 20 minutes. By the time I reach my building, it's dark. I stand outside for a moment, looking up at the windows. Some are lit, some are not. Mine is dark. I think about how easily a place can exist without you. Inside, I forget to turn on the light. I sit in the darkness, listening to the city through the window. A siren passes somewhere far away. I think about the phone call again. Not the words, just the sound of the voice. I wonder if they ever think of me now, or if I've already become something that used to happen. That night, the pressure in my chest is stronger. I lie down and wait for it to pass. It takes longer this time. I consider calling someone, anyone. My phone is on the table, screen dark. I don't pick it up. Eventually, sleep comes, or something like it. The next day, I wake up later than usual. The alarm is ringing when I open my eyes. That has never happened before. I turn it off and sit up slowly. My head feels light. My body feels wrong, like it hasn't fully arrived yet. I call in sick. It's the first time I've done that in years. The day passes quietly. I drink water, I lie down, I stand up, I sit again. By evening, I feel almost normal. Almost. On Monday, I go back to work. No one mentions my absence. Life resumes its shape around me, indifferent, but reliable. The notebook stays closed. I start to think about the future less, not because I've given up, because it feels abstract, like a place I won't visit. I focus on what's directly in front of me, the next bus, the next meal, the next night. This narrowing feels safe. One evening, as I climb the stairs, the pressure hits suddenly, stronger than before. I stop. I grip the railing. For a moment, I think I might sit down on the stairs. I imagine someone finding me there later. The thought feels strange, distant. The pressure fades. I stand there longer than necessary, catching my breath. When I finally reach my apartment, I lock the door and lean against it. I don't move for a while. I think about all the things I thought I had time for. The notebook, the phone, the words I never practiced saying. I move to the bed and sit down carefully, like the floor might shift. The room is quiet. The fan clicks. I feel very tired, not the kind that sleep fixes. I lie down fully clothed. I tell myself I'll rest for a moment. Just a moment. The next morning, I wake up on my back, still fully dressed. For a moment, I don't know where I am. Then, the ceiling comes into focus. The fan. The familiar clicking sound. I sit up slowly. My body protests, but quietly, like it doesn't want to argue anymore. I change my clothes and wash my face. The water feels colder than usual. Or maybe I'm just noticing it more. I make tea and forget to drink it until it's cold. I drink it anyway. Outside, the road looks the same. The same shop opens, the same bus passes. The stray dog is gone today, replaced by nothing. I wonder when the last time was that I truly noticed something new. At work, I move more carefully. I double-check numbers. I read emails twice before sending them. No one comments on the change. During lunch, I sit alone as usual. The room feels louder than before. Too many sounds layered together. I finish eating early and step outside. The air feels heavy in my chest. Not painful, just present. I stand there until the feeling eases. That evening, I don't take the bus home right away. I walk instead. It takes almost an hour. I don't mind. Walking feels like the only thing my body understands clearly now. One step, then another. I pass familiar streets and unfamiliar ones. I don't choose, I just go. At one corner, I stop suddenly. There's nothing special there, just a closed shop and a faded wall. But I remember standing here once, years ago, waiting for someone. I remember checking my phone, feeling impatient. I don't remember if they were late or if I was. The memory ends there. I stand for a while longer, then continue walking. At home, I open the drawer and take out the notebook. I sit at the table and open it to the blank page again. This time, I write the date. The pen feels heavier than it should. I stare at the page, waiting for words to arrive. They don't. I close the notebook and place it back on the table. That night, the pressure returns while I'm lying down. I turn onto my side, then onto my back again. I count my breaths. It fades. Sleep comes in pieces. The days that follow are similar. I wake up tired, I go to work, I come home. Once, I forget my access card and have to wait outside the office until someone lets me in. I apologize. It's okay, they say. Everything is okay as long as nothing breaks visibly. On Thursday, the woman from the other desk asked if I'm feeling well. "You look quiet," she says, unsure how to finish the sentence. "I'm fine," I reply. She nods, but she doesn't look convinced. Neither am I. That night, I stand by the window longer than usual. The city lights blur slightly. I rub my eyes. The blur remains. I sit down. I think about making a doctor's appointment. The thought feels distant, like planning a trip I won't take. I think about calling someone again. The phone steadies where it is. On Saturday, I clean the apartment. Not deeply, just enough. I wash clothes, I sweep the floor, I organize things that don't need organizing. I wake up because the room feels too quiet. Not silent, just empty. The fan is still on, but the clicking sound feels farther away, like it's happening in another apartment. For a moment, I don't move. I wait for my body to tell me what it usually tells me. It doesn't. I sit up slowly. The movement feels delayed, like my body is responding to instructions it received late. The light through the window looks pale. Early morning. I check the time. 6:18 a.m. I missed the moment when I usually wake up. That feels important, though I don't know why. I swing my legs off the bed and stand. The floor feels colder than usual. Or maybe I feel warmer. It's hard to tell. I walk to the kitchen and pour water into the kettle. I forget to turn it on. I stand there for a while, staring at it. Eventually, I notice. I turn it on. While waiting, I lean against the counter. My chest feels tight again, but it's different this time. Not sharp, not heavy. Dull, wide, like something pressing from the inside, evenly. I sit down at the table. The notebook is still in the drawer. I don't take it out. The kettle whistles. The sound feels too loud. I turn it off and pour the water. My hand shakes slightly. Some of the water spills. I don't clean it up. I take the cup to the window and stand there like I've done so many times before. The road is quiet. Fewer buses. The shop downstairs isn't open yet. The stray dog is back. It's lying in the same place as before, curled into itself. I feel strangely relieved to see it. I take a sip of tea. I don't taste anything. I try again. Still nothing. I sit down. The pressure in my chest deepens. It spreads into my left arm, slowly, without urgency. I notice it the way you notice weather. Oh, I think. So it's today. The thought doesn't scare me. It feels settled. I consider standing up, getting my phone, calling someone. The phone is on the table, face down. I don't reach for it, not because I don't want help, because I don't want explanations. I sit very still, breathing carefully, like sudden movement might disturb something delicate. My thoughts slow. I think about work, about how I didn't set my alarm properly, about how someone will notice eventually. I think about the woman at the other desk, how she'll probably ask where I am. Someone will say, "He was quiet." Someone else will nod. That will be enough. The pressure becomes stronger, then oddly distant. My arm feels heavy now. My fingers tingle. I set the cup down carefully so it won't spill. I don't want to leave a mess. The room feels smaller, or maybe I'm shrinking inside it. I think about the notebook again. I think about how I never wrote anything in it when it mattered. I think about the voice on the phone. I wonder if they still have my number. My breathing becomes shallow. I focus on it. In, out. In, out. The fan clicks. The sound repeats. Then something changes. Not suddenly, not violently, just less. Less pressure, less sensation, less effort. I slide down in the chair without meaning to. My head rests against the table. The room tilts slightly, then steadies. For a brief moment, I feel something close to peace. Not happiness. Release. The building wakes up slowly. Someone walks up the stairs. Someone else leaves for work. A door opens. Another closes. No one notices anything unusual. The stray dog stretches and stands. It shakes itself, then settles again. Time moves forward. By late afternoon, someone from work calls my phone. It rings. No one answers. They assume I forgot it at home. By evening, they try again. Still no answer. The supervisor frowns slightly, but says nothing. People have reasons. On the second day, someone knocks on my door. There is no response. On the third day, the building manager unlocks it. The apartment looks normal. The bed is made. The dishes are mostly clean. The light is off. I am sitting at the table. The cup is cold. They call my name once, then again. They stop. Someone says, "Oh." Another person steps back. An ambulance arrives quietly. No sirens. There is nothing to rush. They cover me with a sheet. One of them notices the notebook in the drawer. They don't open it. Later, paperwork is done. Calls are made. Someone finds the number in my phone history. They hesitate before dialing. When the call is answered, there is silence on the other end. Then a quiet, broken, "I see." The apartment is emptied over the next few weeks. The notebook is placed in a box with other things. Eventually, it ends up somewhere forgotten. The chair is replaced. The table is moved. Someone else stands by the window and drinks tea. The fan still clicks. Life continues, unchanged by the absence of someone who learned how to disappear quietly.